well. So that way I can post this later, because again, this is a really great time to be using this, especially if you have listings that are going under contract very quickly, because that's going to entice people to actually respond to you and at least get an evaluation on their home. So, okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so command agent.kw.com. Once we are in command, we're actually going to go to the campaigns section. So remember, you can click on that red KW and see the names of the applets. So I'm going to click on campaigns. That is the megaphone icon, right? So then I'm going to click on the blue, sorry, my videos were blocking. Let me move this guy over here now. Okay. So I'm going to click on create a new campaign. And then I'm going to click on direct mail. So then it's going to ask you to name and kind of define this campaign. So I'm just going to do, let's just say the address was 123 Main Street. And I'm going to say that I'm going to attract listings, because the idea is if you send a just listed postcard, for sure that helps people in the neighborhood get to know that, you know, one of the houses is just listed. So you're advertising that listing. But really, as a realtor, you would send these out, especially a just sold or an under contract in 24 hours type of postcard, to attract listings, right? I'm going to go ahead and click on attract listings. It does not affect any of my options. This is all for your tracking purposes, okay? So then how would you like to create this campaign? I am going to use the default templates provided. So we'll do it both ways, but we'll start with this one. So then set up campaign. So once I am in the campaign screen, let me see if I can just, I'm just gonna, oh, there we go. Okay. Once I'm here, I'm just gonna fill out the data, the information. So listing details, I'll select a listing. So it will pull up your listings. I have noticed the system is a little funny. Even when you're filling out your commission requests, it'll pull only my listings, but you'll be like, well, wait a second, I have like 3 more listings. If you do all listings and then search, you'll actually find it in there. It's weird. It's a weird quirk that they're working through right now, but just so you guys are aware. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this one. Okay, so then street address is gonna populate for me, country, state, city, zip, the listing price, listing status. So this is optional. I can pick just listed, just sold, or coming soon. So I'm gonna click on just sold. Bedrooms and bathrooms, if I want those to be included. So it didn't pull that for whatever reason. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in there. Morning. Okay, so 5 bedrooms. Oh, I don't think it's 5. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Okay. Oh, it's right here. 4, 3.5. Perfect. It was close. Okay, so it'll tell me that my description is a little too wordy, so I will go ahead and delete some of that. And this is where too, like if you'd prefer, if it's a just sold, I actually would reframe the description to be something more like, you know, just sold in or under contract in 24 hours, multiple offers over asking. That's where you really want to beef it up with, you know, how hot the market is, right? So I'll just put under contract in less than 24 hours with multiple offers over asking. This market is on fire. Contact me today to know the value of your property. Okay, so we'll say something like that. I'm gonna click on save. So then I'm gonna go to the next one, listing photo. It will pull the pictures from MLS, but depending on the size of the template, which I'm jumping ahead a little bit, depending on which size you choose, it might tell you that you need to upload a larger picture file. So that would be a good way of, if you still have the ones from the photographer directly, you can just upload, you know, that crisp picture, because that's gonna be the highest resolution, right? But I'm gonna go ahead, I'll just select this one. Yep, and it says low resolution, of course, because it's from MLS. So let me see if I can download one. Okay. I'm just gonna pick a stock photo for now. House. because I know these are high resolution, so. Nope. Okay, so now it didn't give me that message. We're good to go. So I will click on save. So then under agent information, it's going to have your agent marketing profile. So just double check all of that contact info. Market Center, it's going to ask you to put in and verify the address. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Whoop. Okay. Oh, did it already? It's going to ask me for that logo too. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the logo because I need the school. Yeah, if you guys need the logo for Command, let me know. There's a specific one we sized that is a square, which is what it likes best. So I'm just going to do our logo. Aha, Sherry. Okay. So now I can upload that here. Okay, and save. Targeting, it's going to be local targeting. You will see the option for target my database. I have not successfully been able to target specific addresses as far as like a CSV file or list. They are working on that capability, and if you guys get it to work successfully, would love to hear about it. But I have not had that go through. It just kind of keeps spinning and spinning, which it could be that it's processing all the addresses, and I just needed to wait longer, but you know, millennials impatient. So I'm just going to do local targeting, save. Budget, we'll just say 200. And then over on the right-hand side is where you get to pick your postcard, and you can also preview it with your image in there and your descriptions. I typically recommend at least doing a 6x9 postcard. It'll stick out a little bit better in the mail. If you want to do the 6x11, feel free. It'll show you the price difference here. So this one's 79 cents or 99 cents per postcard for first class mail, 89 cents versus $1.20, and so on. So you guys can get the idea there. There's also the option to put a QR code. Here's the thing about QR codes. If you have an Apple phone, you just use the camera, you scan it, pops up, it works really great. So a lot of restaurants right now, especially because of COVID, have changed to a QR code for the menu, and then you use your phone to find it. So QR codes are almost making a comeback because of COVID, which is kind of funny. I hadn't seen them in a long time. So feel free to use a QR code and try it and see how it goes. The idea is if someone scans that QR code and you get that lead captured, it'll come in directly to Command. So you would just assign a landing page for them to go to when they scan that QR code. So the idea would be that it would take them to this property site, okay? Again, totally up to you guys if you want to use a QR code or not. I have noticed them have a little bit of a comeback since the COVID stuff, just because restaurants are starting to do that a lot more to be paperless, which is actually not a bad idea. So, okay, gonna go to configure targeting, step 2. Are we sure? Yes. Okay. So then it's going to pull up the address of the listing. Now this is actually a funny example. So this home is in a relatively new area. So it's not pulling those addresses of those homes. So if you are doing one that's in a newer area, you might have problems with this system. But just for the sake of the example, I'm just going to use a different radius, okay? So here it'll show you your listing and it'll show the houses that it's pulling. You can also type in a different address and recenter. Maybe you want to send it to your neighborhood because that's your farm. Also, there's a polygon tool. So I can click on the polygon tool and outline where I'd like for these to be sent. So let's just say, I don't want to go there, but I want to go here. Okay. So then it remaps it for me. Then let's say over on this left-hand side, I can get rid of and just do only single family. I can do only multifamily, or I can do all. I can also filter by the number of bedrooms in the house, square footage, year built, year last sold for. I wouldn't get too crazy with these filters. I wouldn't, shorten or reduce it to a small audience. But one that would be good is year last sold. If someone just moved in this past year, you probably don't really care to have them on the campaign. They're not going anywhere. You can leave them in, doesn't matter. But if it's, somewhere where a lot of homes are selling, maybe you can save a few bucks by reducing, that year last sold. So you would just toggle those. Also, let's just say that a realtor lives right here and you don't really care if they get a postcard. You can actually hover over that one blue dot and remove them. So you can individually remove homes. Now you can't individually add them. So that's a tricky thing. So if you have one house over here that you missed, you actually have to drag out the line to then include it. And then you would disclude the ones you want to disclude. Does that make sense? Okay. So then you also have the option to send a copy to your address, your company address. Highly suggest doing that so you know when they get sent out. Also, you get to see the quality of the postcard. I love saving them, even if you guys don't want them. I love saving them just to show as examples to people when they ask me what the mailers look like. So even if you don't want to keep it, do it because I'll keep it. So send a copy to your address. And then first class mail versus standard mail. First class mail, I believe, which we'll find out for sure on the next page, but it's 7 to 12 business days. Standard mail is going to be 12 to 14 or 15 business days, something like that. So it's a matter of about a week. Like if you want them going out very quickly, which in this market, not a bad idea, go ahead and spring for the first class mail. You can see the difference in price. So if you're only sending about 200 postcards, it just goes up $50 versus if you're doing like 600 postcards, that's a whole different thing. So for this, I'll go ahead and spring for the first class mail. And then I'm going to click next. Here, it will generate my preview of the front and the back of the postcard, which, just side note, at any point when you're creating these campaigns, do not click the back button and do not X out or lose internet connection. If you do, I can't guarantee that it'll save it. I have had it miraculously save a couple times when I got interrupted, but try to do this when you're going to be uninterrupted. And just don't hit the back button. Sometimes we get tempted to hit the back button. Don't do it. Okay, so it'll give you a preview of your postcard with your information on the back, the information about the listing, your picture, the address, just sold, right? You can view a larger preview if you'd like. But then, okay, so here we go. So same day processing. If you submit your order before 3 p.m. on a business day, your mailers will go to production that same day. So this company prints and sends these. So literally once I click this make a payment button, I don't have to worry about this postcard anymore, okay? Estimated delivery for first class mail. So it's sooner than I thought, 4 to 6 business days. So that would mean standard is gonna be 6 to 14 business days, okay? I have seen where it's a little bit slower if it is a community. So for example, like the Plantation, we sent one recently with an agent, and they have their own mail center, so it had to filter through there and then go out to people. So just know that sometimes like the mail is weird, and if it's a smaller community or different things like that, it might be a little quirky. Like some people might get it before other people. Like I said, the mail is weird. If you ever have problems, like if you notice like, well, no one in the neighborhood got one, a bunch got returned to me, something like that, you can contact real mailers directly. I actually have had to do that in the past for one agent. And we contacted them. They were great. They were very helpful. And I think even refunded the postcards that got sent back because there was a mail issue. So, anyway, just don't worry about if something goes wrong. They are really great about helping you fix it. Okay. So then make a payment. That's when it's going to pop up. We won't buy these because that's not my house. But make a payment. It'll pop up. You plug in your card information. Boom. Click send, and you're done. Easy peasy, right? Nobody?
Easy peasy.
Thank you, Sherry. Okay, so we just did that one through their templates. So I'm going to go ahead. Well, first I'll ask, do you guys have any questions before we then do this process again, but with a custom template?
I have a question, Megan.
Yeah.
The just sold, you know, the green box on the postcard, it's very small. Can you adjust that?
So these templates are these templates. So we cannot do any adjusting or editing. We just plug it in and then they put it in their template. There's no editing for this. So that's a great point though. It is very small. So that's why I also like to show how to do a custom postcard. So we'll do that too, because that would be another option. If there's a few things about the template you don't like, you can create a custom one in Canva and put the just sold wherever you want it to go, as big as you need it to be. You know, so we'll get to a custom one, but unfortunately, no, you can't edit any of the template when you use theirs.
Thank you.
Good question. Any other questions? Nope. Okay. So we'll go ahead then, and I'm going to go back to direct mail. Okay. So I'm actually going to delete this one. Okay. So we're going to create a custom one. So I'm going to click on create a campaign, direct mail, enter the name. So we'll do 123 Main Street. We're going to attract listings. Upload a custom template. So on this screen, if you pay attention, it says right here, all of the dimensions that you need. Okay, so if you want a 6x9, it has to be this pixel size, 6x11, this pixel size. So what's awesome about Canva is that you can plug in those dimensions and create a custom size. So we'll just jump to that real quick. I'm going to open a new tab. Okay, so to create the custom dimensions, I would just click on custom dimensions and plug in the width and the height. Now I already have one created, so I'm going to just jump to that one. Okay, so just give me a moment. If I can find it, we'll just do all folders. Okay. So this postcard, just like I was saying, this market is crazy and you guys need to be telling people about it. We had, this agent had 2 listings in the course of 1 weekend go under contract within 24 hours of being listed. Both had multiple offers and one even had multiple offers over asking price. So went ahead, threw the pictures in there. We put some text in there. And then on the back, when you're making a custom postcard, always leave about half on the right side blank. I know that looks kind of silly when it's like this in this format, but the post office needs a good bit of that. Now, could we go a little bit across the top on the right side? Probably, but the last thing you'd want is to spend all this time on a postcard and then be like, oh, you went a little too far into the postcard or the post office zone, so we're not going to send it, right? So I just try to be cautious with that. I do just the left-hand side. So again, so put the market is on fire. Are you ready to sell? This is the time. Always put a call to action of saying, hey, contact me today, you know, to learn more about this. And then it's not a bad idea either to put some statistics as well, because if you notice, these went under contract in 24 hours. The average days on market for that area is 71. So you're showing these people that you actually are beating the area statistics. not only in the days on market, but also the average sold price, because both of these sold over that and over asking price for this one. Okay. So stats are always a good idea. And then your information, of course, you want across there, and the logo. Never forget to put the Keller Williams logo on there. Okay. Otherwise, Lee and Connie will come after you. So once the design has been created, so the format, if you recall, which I'll just hop back to it, the format shows that you need a JPEG or PDF. I'm going to download the JPEG of each side individually, okay? So when you're on Canva, because if I try to download this, it's gonna try to download both pages, right? So I'm gonna go to download, change this to a JPEG, and then just page 1, okay? And then download. And then we get to read fun quotes by Steve Jobs. Okay. And then I'm going to download page 2. Okay. So now that I have my 2 images that I need, I'm going to hop back to the campaigns area. So you can drag or drop the front of the postcard here, or sorry, drag and drop, or you can click on it to browse your files. Now, most cases, when you guys download something from Canva, it's going to go to your downloads folder. Okay. So I'm going to click on the front of the postcard, click on open, and we'll do back of the postcard, open. And notice how it picks up on the size of the design. So once you've made one, you cannot go back quickly and change this. Now you can resize it in Canva if you're like, oh man, I really wanted the large postcard. You can resize it, but then you do have to make some adjustments because the text, you'll have to kind of play with it a little bit because it's a different ratio, okay? So now I'm going to click on continue. Okay, so I'm going to fill out the information on the left-hand side. So Market Center, you do not need to upload a logo because remember, we put it on the back side of the postcard. Okay, so don't worry about uploading a logo. Market Center number, or excuse me, name. Street address. So it knows where to send them if, they get sent back for whatever reason. Okay, verify address. Okay, targeting. We're gonna do local targeting. Now it's not gonna pick up the address because I didn't pick a listing. So what I'll do, I don't remember what this one was. Okay, Palm Way. I'm just going to copy that. Where am I? Too many tabs, okay. And then budget, again, can always be changed on the next page if you need to. So once all of that's done, I'm going to click on Configure Targeting. So just like on that last one, which side note, I didn't explain this in the last one. So it's very zoomed in right now, so I can't really draw my radius as easily. You can use your 2 fingers on your keypad to unzoom or zoom out if you need to. There's also, I want to say if I maximize the screen, there is a zoom button at the bottom. But I usually just use my fingers on the keypad, okay? So I can then use the polygon tool. Now this one, it was for 2 different houses, but they were kind of close together. So I'm actually going to extend this. Let's see if I can, whoop, that's not what I wanted. There we go. I can extend it. I would say of all of this process, this polygon tool is the hardest part because of the zoom and trying to map out the area that you want. So, which it's still not super hard, but I will say this will be the hardest part for you guys as you're learning this, okay? So once I have my area, again, I can zoom in and I can house by house delete certain houses. Maybe I live in one of the houses and I'm like, well, I don't need a postcard. It's also going to my office, so whatever. Or if, you know, I just don't like these people, they don't get to have my postcard, I can select them and click on remove, okay? Also on the left-hand side, so only 200 homes match my search. So I can increase, you know, the number of homes to target, okay? So now it's gonna pick up all of those houses. I can do just single family houses. I can do, you know, bedrooms, bathrooms, year built. So let's see about year last sold, okay? So I got rid of a couple for me. And again, I can do standard mail or I can do first class mail. So watch as the price changes. So as we're doing more postcards, it does become a bigger jump in price. So last time it was only a matter of $50. Now it's gonna be almost $100, right? No, a little over $100. No, yep, a little over $100. Sorry guys, need more coffee. Okay, so in this case, I'm like, you know what? Not in a huge rush, I'm gonna do standard. And then I can also send a copy to my address, okay? So then, just like last time, I'm going to click on next.
I'm glad you did casual Friday.
Yeah. Well, you had casual week, so I figured at least it's Friday on this team.
Morning, Brandon.
Hello.
Jason is not muted.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so then the preview comes up, the front and the back of the postcard. Again, you can view a larger preview if you'd like, and then make a payment. So you plug in that card information and you are good to go. So, and here you go. So this time we did standard mail, 7 to 14 business days. And same day processing if it's before 3 p.m. on a business day. Okay. So what do you guys think? Any questions about this way we did it? No questions? Are you guys already making postcards and being awesome?
Megan, I put a question in the chat box.
In the chat. Okay, let me take a look. Let me move my people. Okay, premium Canva. So I do use premium Canva, but all that means is that I get access to certain fonts, photos, or
and changing the size in premium. It requires premium to change the size, like you talked about.
Gotcha. Okay, so in that case, so what she's talking about, so resize, you won't be able to resize it. So in that case, I would just be very particular in the beginning to make sure you get those dimensions what you want them to be. If for some reason you spend a ton of time and something happens and it's saying it's the wrong size and you get really frustrated, the cool thing is I have premium, so you can actually share a design with me. I can resize it for you and then share it back to you. So if you ever do get in a bind and need help with that, all you have to do is share the design with me. I can resize it really quick. Now, depending on how much needs to be maneuvered and fixed, I'm going to leave that to you, but at least I resize it and then send it back and you're just more maneuvering all the text where it needs to go. Okay. Good question though.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions? So we just made 2 postcards in under 40 minutes. Do you guys think that you can do this, that you are going to use this? What do you guys think about this part of the program of command?
I love it, Megan. I'm also curious, though, whether or not it's premium that allows you to pick your configurations, because I don't recall seeing that, and I'm on Canva a lot.
So it is on the home page. So that I know for sure, because I know that you can create custom dimensions no matter which Canva you have. Okay. It's over here. It's kind of hidden. I will say that. It's when you're on your home page, Brittany, it's going to be to the right-hand side.
All right, I'll look at it.
pixels, inches, millimeters, or centimeters. For this example, we used pixels, and I recommend using pixels. But like, for example, say that you needed to do an ad for a magazine, and they told you get 4 by 6 centimeters or, you know, whatever, then you could actually do it that way as well, which is pretty nice.
Megan, I have a question.
Yeah.
On, say, like you mentioned, if it wasn't my listing, but I brought the buyer and I still want to send out a, you know, sold postcard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you mentioned the pictures are not as great from the MLS. So what do you suggest? Asking the agent if they'll share a picture?
Actually, so technically you have to do that anyway. You're not legally allowed to use someone else's MLS photos. I've gotten busted on that one because I didn't know. So I've made that mistake before. So you actually would have to ask their permission to have a photo, or my suggestion, your phone, I mean, most of you guys have a recent iPhone. If you were to go on the day of like inspections, or just go drive by, you know, when you put the contract in, whatever, take a picture of the house on your phone, make sure, you know, you are doing it landscape, right? Take a picture on your phone, and then that actually should be high enough resolution if you have a decent phone camera. Because you're allowed to, you know, advertise that you had the buyer side and it went under contract. Absolutely. But the photo, you cannot use their photo without their permission, even if it's the MLS photo. So,
okay,
good question.
thank you.
Yeah. Another really cool feature in this mailer campaign, so I've been archiving these because they're just test ones, but let's just say, you know, we have another house that we got from one of the postcard campaigns go under contract. So rather than having to redraw the radius and all that, I can actually go to the previous one and duplicate the campaign. So then it takes half of the work out for me. I just have to put in that new postcard design that I'm, you know, creating for that campaign.
Megan, can you review how you did the sizing? I didn't really understand it, like how you picked the JPEG and all that.
Yeah, so it gave me, so I'll just, we'll do a direct mail, do test. So when I do upload a custom template, oh, sorry, let me click one of those. It'll actually give me the dimensions here. So that's where I got those pixel numbers from. So then what I did was I picked, okay, I want to do a 6 by 9 postcard. So I'm going to use those pixel dimensions, okay? So then I'm going to go to Canva and then click on the custom dimensions button. And then the width, so it's actually a little, so it's written reverse. So 2775 by 1875. So I'll do 2775 by 1875. Create a new design. Okay, so then it will give me a blank page. So then once you create your design, so I'll just kind of jump to the one we were just on to show you. Where was I? So then once I've created my design, I feel like I'm on one of those cooking shows, you know, where it's like, here's all your ingredients and this is how you get started. Let's put it in the oven. And then it just like magically comes out. So then once you have this done, you're going to click on download. Now in the criteria, it said a JPEG or a PDF. I just used JPEG. Mostly because when I tried PDF once, it got a little wiggy, which they could have updated that, but I just stick with JPEG because why not? So PNG, I'm going to do JPEG. And then under select pages, I have to do one page at a time. Otherwise, it's going to download both of the images in this design in a zip folder. It's not a wrong way of doing it. It just adds an extra step on that end, because then you have to extract the images from the zip file, which a lot of people don't really like zip files and figuring that out. So I just skip that. So I do JPEG and then I do one page at a time. So I'll do page 1 and then download. And then once that one's done, I come back in, JPEG, page 2, download. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's better. I just, it's confusing to me because I just have never done it, but you have to reverse the size to 2775.
Yeah, so it's 2775 is the width, and then the height is 1875 pixels.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you think about it, the postcard goes lengthwise, goes landscape, not portrait. So the longer side has to be the width that goes across this way. So that's why I just flip-flopped them, which they don't realize what they're in command that we're using Canva to do it. So they're not thinking about it in that order.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else have questions?
Hey, Meg, it's Jason. Hey, just as normal, you're putting this on your YouTube channel, right?
Of course,
Yes,
especially since I didn't have any hiccups today. I will definitely put it on the YouTube channel.
Awesome. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I will say, guys, I've had several people ask how to do this week. That's why I chose to do it today, and why I'm going to record it and post it, send it out, and all that jazz. But really, this is a great time to be utilizing this in this market because of just how quickly things are selling and how low the inventory is. Now, I'm not saying do this for every single listing. That's a lot of money to be spending. So pick and choose, which transactions you think are worth doing that for. I mean, these were two that were pretty crazy and in South Jack's Beach, so it was a no-brainer. And hey, if you have some that are back-to-back, you could also do like this and combine into one postcard as well, rather than do two separate postcards. But yeah, any other questions? Cool. Well, I can't see any of your faces today, but I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Look for this video to be posted soon. And please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you guys, get that first postcard sent. If you need help with Canva, you need help with Command, would love to help you guys. Because take advantage of it. This is a really great part of the system that we haven't touched on in a while just because, more important things like opportunities and DocuSign. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. And remember, it is National Tequila Day, so go get yourself a margarita. All right.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
Bye.